Hey there, this is DizzyPW, Editor-in-Chief of OnRPG.
And I'm JamesBl0nde, Chief Video Editor for OnRPG, here to deliver OnRPG's choice for the most anticipated MMO of 2012. We've narrowed it down to 8 epic MMOs we expect to see dominate the online market this year, so join us in our countdown starting with number 8.
The Secret World. At first glance, The Secret World doesn't look like the type of game players would be hyped about in 2012. However, it's a perfect example of innovation carrying a game's weight beyond graphical first impressions. The Secret World is set to bring players into an unfamiliar world by late spring in 2012, in which players will quite literally find out what goes bump in the night. Besides the amazing real-world horror sci-fi setting filled with actual locations like London, New York, and Egypt, character customization is completely free as well. Whether you choose to be a gunman, a mage, or a magical gunman, the possibilities are near endless and far more modernistic feeling than your typical fantasy MMORPG. Underlying connection between 3 warring factions and the fact that you can keep your identity hidden from your fellow players creates a setting that I'm sure many online role players have been dying for quite a while. Oh, and did I mention it has zombies? Yeah, don't miss this one.
7.
PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2 is the successor to PlanetSide, a PvP-focused open-world MMO FPS that can only be hailed as years ahead of its time. The very fact it carried the title MMO FPS in the era it was released is astonishing. Now they intend to do it bigger and better with 3 well-designed differentiated factions and a slew of ground and aerial vehicles to really create an atmosphere akin to a futuristic Battlefield 3. If you love PvP and you love sandboxes, as well as the feel of near-futuristic pistol resting in the palm of your hand, PlanetSide 2 is without a doubt the game for you in 2012.
6.
Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now I know, Star Wars was released in 2011, so why is it on the list? Well, because we haven't had time to truly enjoy it yet, and the anticipation of what is to come is driving us nuts. Star Wars deserves recognition for taking console-level storytelling and successfully immersing MMORPG players into it without suffering the fate of so many others like it who claim each and every player is their own special snowflake. Beyond this, its mechanics are recycled but solid and excellently put together. The graphics are adequate and the gameplay itself tops most any sci-fi MMO on the market. And in 2012, this gem is surely only going to get better.
5.
Diablo 3. The devil himself couldn't convince me and my high school chums to pass up on this upcoming masterpiece of the isometric gaming style. Diablo 3's concept might be old, but its execution is fresh and fantastically fun. Class customization is a big selling point for most players, and Diablo 3 promises not to disappoint. Despite the crazy list of fun characters to choose from like Witch Doctor and Demon Hunter, you'll be able to collect and trade out 5 types of runes that drastically alter the effects of your base skills. We're talking a total of 120 skill combinations for each class here. That's a lot more differentiation than your typical online game's mere cosmetic variations. Another reason why you might set your calendar to remind you about Diablo in 2012? Difficulty. Bosses will literally pick you up and eat your head in this game. Your head. Check out Blizzard's latest masterpiece in 2012, where the cool kids on the forums won't have much to talk to you about.
4.
ArcheAge. ArcheAge is gaming gold, at least in concept. If you haven't heard of this monumental upcoming Korean title, then I can't blame you. You only came across a few months ago, but have been counting down the days till a Western release ever since. ArcheAge is probably best described as Sandbox MMO Reboot 2.0. In it you can grow plants, build castles, destroy castles, and sell your own crafted ship around the world. With tons of skill options to learn and a robust crafting system, this game may be just what Star Wars Galaxies players have been waiting for. A return to the greatness of the old school MMO, but with a much needed modern upgrade. Just take a look at some of the Siege Warfare videos and you'll soon be on the hype train for ArcheAge in 2012. Grab a goofy hang glider and join us later this year for some serious coverage of this Korean gem.
3.
Firefall. In my short time hands-on with Firefall, I have to say, what is polished in the game is the most incredible gaming experience I've ever had, anywhere. But polish is probably the only thing holding Firefall back, as it still has a ways to go before launch to be a true masterpiece game of 2012. Its world is gigantic, its gunslinging multi-customizable class system is astounding, and the combat is so unreal words nor trailers can give justice to the glory of Firefall. As if this wasn't enough, its cinematic-esque public quest held within normally safe towns will send chills down your spine. If you want an MMO FPS with a good deal of awesome PvE mixed into an intense PvP, Firefall is the game to watch in 2012.
I will destroy you.
Terra Online. We have a term we jokingly but honestly use when describing Terra around the office. It's going to be the best game ever and always will be. Terra is an action MMORPG player's wet dream come to life. With FPS-styled targeting but fantasy-styled skill systems, Terra combines the best of both worlds into one of the most strategic and fun combat systems to ever hit the online market. A series of runes and upgrades that alter your skill effects and costs make a nice addition to class customization in a way similar to League of Legends Mastery Tree, but with more noticeable effects like longer knockdowns. By setting the pace somewhere between Vindictus' slow methodical combat and Dragon Nest's spammy skill explosion, you get a real feel of power behind each blow delivered without ever losing the adrenaline rush that action games aren't meant to offer. The graphical design and absolutely massive world will leave you feeling lightheaded as you can spend hundreds of hours just gazing at monsters and scenery throughout the world of Arborea. But while most publishers would be satisfied with this and rush their game to launch, en masse has pushed Bluehole Studios harder and harder to prepare all the amazing content included in the Evolution patch and beyond to be available at launch day. This means improved Guild Wars systems, much needed balance adjustments between classes, and many other goodies you'll be glad you waited for. Icing on the cake, of course, is Terra's political system, in which players can unite their guild as a political party and seize office democratically or through brute strength. Those in office will then use policy points earned through popularity and questing to provide unique benefits to their region, ideally in an effort to draw in crowds to spend their taxable gold in your lands. Still not to be outdone by rivals, Terra has repeatedly taunted us with the concept of server versus server invasions. If you want to find DizzyPW in 2012, look no further than Terra Online.
1.
Guild Wars 2. Of course, no countdown of 2012 would be complete without the return of the king of the buy-to-play model. Guild Wars stands as a true juggernaut of the industry and a founding father of the esports craze. Expansion after expansion of the legendary series brought fun and fresh new classes, amazing tales of bravery, and overall fun competitive PvP to players around the world. But that was then, and in 2012, Guild Wars will show the world just how far a dedicated expert team of developers can push the limits of the MMO world. Been under a rock the last 12 months and don't know why I'm saying this? Let's begin. Guild Wars 2's skill system goes beyond anything I've ever seen before. Your skills are not only based on a limited preset strategic set of choices, but also on your environment. If you're a mage and find a puddle of water, you may craft water javelins and throw them at your enemy. If you're a great warrior and you find a large tree branch, you can pick it up and utilize heavy weaponry skills not normally available to you. And if said warrior and said mage decides to team up, the warrior can spin the mage's fire into a tornado to send spiraling at their enemies with some of the most dynamic combination attacks ever witnessed in a game to this date. Oh yeah, Guild War bosses! If you've seen the video from PAX this year, you know exactly why these big-ass monsters dwarf the competition. If you thought the dragons in Skyrim were intimidating, then think again. These dragons will cover the horizon and launch poisonous loogies just as far, while raising the dead in their wake, and blowing back any warrior foolish or lucky enough to get within their melee range. This isn't just flashy effects. Expect to die a lot in this game unless you know yourself and your foe incredibly well. Dizzy, tell him what's up.
Building on the groundwork set up by Rift's unpredictable, world-altering public quest, Guild Wars 2 goes a step further by having constant world events happening all over the place at all hours of the day. One event can lead to another that can lead to an entire town being burned down and destroyed by raging centaurs. Players will have their hands full defending cities here and saving oddball merchants there to keep their world in working order. Of course, in the spirit of teamwork, Players will gain benefits just for being in the area. So no longer will you have to worry about one overpowered jerk refusing to party with anyone and stealing all the rewards of the public quest for themselves. Yet another reason to be excited for this is fanfare for dedicated Guild Wars players of old. Those who stayed dedicated to the original and complete Eye of the North can expect relics of the past to reflect their accomplishments. You have to love a company that goes way, way out of their way to pay tribute to the community that made everything today possible. And if I said the most important reason to be excited for Guild Wars 2 is Guild Wars, would I sound redundant? Because Guild versus Guild combat is going to be what really sets Guild Wars up as potential game of the year for 2012. The invigorating combat and amazing mixture of environment and multiplayer skill interaction is going to make for some incredible esports-worthy battles on levels never before seen. I'm not lying when I say I'm considering purchasing this game just to tune in to in-game streaming battles between major guilds while enjoying my morning cereal. I lost many hours of my college life to the Hall of Heroes in the original Guild Wars and expect the team-oriented PvP in this sequel to overshadow even my happiest of memories.
Yeah, we're not exaggerating when we say 2012 is looking to be a new golden age in online gaming, both for free-to-play and pay-to-play players alike. We couldn't be more excited to be part of this industry, and we'll keep bringing you high-quality videos covering all the latest and greatest games from around the world as they are released.
But don't think 2012 is the end. Stay tuned to OnRPG in 2012 as we cover all the major gaming conventions like E3 PAX and more, so you'll be among the first to know what the future has in store for the online industry.
Like always, thanks for watching. Join us in checking out the newest games of the new year at onrpg.com, but first, hit that like button and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm JamesBl0nde.
And I'm DizzyPW.
See you out there, gamers.